Good morning. Manisha Mooney-Carr here with B.A.T.S and Associates School of Real Estate, and I have with me
Tanya Smitherin with B.A.T.S and Associates School of Real Estate, and this is the next edition of
Grand Slam with B.A.T.S. And one of our goals with Grand Slam with B.A.T.S is to spotlight a nonprofit. And that's what we're going to do today. And our spotlight today is...
Today, we have the honor of being able to speak with Miss Elvie Schooley, who is the president and executive director and founder of Drum the Program. And Drum the Program is a nonprofit that is here in the state of Alabama. And so we're so honored to have you today, Miss Schooley.
Thank you. Thank you, B.A.T.S and Associates, for the opportunity to talk about the work that Drum the Program does and to be your focus for the day.
Awesome. Awesome. So tell us a little bit about how did Drum the Program get started and what is Drum the Program?
The word drum is an acronym for Drum Rhythms Unification Movement. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization here in Alabama. However, we launched Drum the Program in 2016 originally in Austin, Texas area. And it has evolved into a platform that has found itself at home here in Alabama. It originated out of my desire to clarify the need for West African drum and dance as an essential tool for minority youth, especially Black and African American minority youth. When I discovered West African drum and dance, I was 40, and after one class, I was hooked. I immediately wanted to go to Africa, and I did. And it was very presumptuous of me, but I realized that this art form is the rest of our story from a community perspective. It answers a lot of questions for me around my cultural heritage. And because it was so life-changing, I felt that I really need to give this opportunity for other minority youth to discover this art form that really speaks to music and dance and a lot that's already a part of our African American community, but we don't have our history of where our families originated from in Africa. But the music and the dance is like this innate thing that lives in our DNA. And so this traditional West African drum and dance answered a lot of those questions for me. And so Drum the Program became a platform to provide that experience and to really allow it to be a focus for African American youth, because when I worked with organizations in Austin, it was great. I performed for many years, easily 10 years, with different performing groups. And I worked with a nonprofit organization there. And as a member of their board, I kept emphasizing that we should really focus this, give this opportunity for youth and name our demographics that we want to focus on. And I was met with so much opposition, which was very interesting. But, you know, Drum the Program, I moved back to Alabama where I was born and raised after 30 years. And I established Drum the Program here. And We received our nonprofit status from the IRS, which is official,
Right.
in 2019. And we hit the ground running, servicing the Shelby County and Tilton and Jefferson County communities with this art form and the way our template for the art form as a tool for teaching cultural awareness, building community, and allowing it to be an access point for African American youth to know more about their own heritage.
Right.
So yeah,
That's
that was why
awesome.
Drum the Program came about.
That is awesome.
That's so amazing. You had that vision and you brought it to life. That is amazing.
Yeah, that's
Right?
huge. That's huge. Because a lot of people, they desire to see a change, but they don't take the step to actually make the change. And so that's huge. And
Yeah.
we commend you for definitely taking your vision to the next level and actually,
Passion,
yeah, definitely, and actually bringing it to fruition. So that's awesome. That is super
Thank you.
awesome. Super
Yeah.
awesome. So you're here in Alabama, and I heard you say that you guys are servicing Chilton, Jefferson, Shelby County. What are some events that you do with the youth?
So we have zeroed in on our true capacity, being that we are located in Shelby County, and the art form, the magic of this art form is really about having live drums. That is the synergy. Because we are new and having access to artists who already know the music and can provide that service has limited us on some levels. We have a great group of artists that we work with out of Birmingham, Sahi Onkoyoni, led by Ronnie Carter and Edmund Barry Johnson.
Okay.
So when we need their support, they're always right there. They're an amazing group of community members and artists. We offer 3 programs that allow for our community and youth to engage with us. One is our spring outdoor after school program, which will take place April the 14th. No, I'm sorry. It'll take place April the 19th through the 23rd at Orr Park in Montevallo. And this program it focuses on learning one rhythm, and we teach a skill set of social emotional development skills that empower our youth to really take the art as a tool that helps them to grow the social emotional skills that we provide. We teach around grit, which is about empowering our youth to know how to set goals. I didn't have those skills when it wasn't like given to me in such a complete package as a youth growing up. I think it's important to learn how to set a goal and how to achieve a goal. Otherwise, we begin to never find ourselves in that place of really feeling confident that we can achieve in life. The other social emotional skill set that we teach is self-management. And self-management is all about teaching our youth how to articulate their feelings. I struggled when I was a kid growing up with being able to articulate how I felt about something. And my greatest challenge and my greatest love and my greatest teacher was my dad. And one day he told me, he says, well, you're all over the place. I don't really know how to take you sometimes. You know, you come in one minute, you're happy, and the next minute you're not. So all of these things are things that I didn't get as a kid, right? So self-management is about teaching kids how to articulate their feelings. And we use a really simple tool that says, I feel blank when blank happens to me. And so we demonstrate all of this through canvases about what are the emotions that we can feel. We are very familiar with maybe anger and sadness and happiness and joy, but there's a whole spectrum that we can choose words to really like define our individuality. And so our self-management is really about, on some level, teaching kids how to be more responsible for themselves emotionally. Um, Especially African American youth are oftentimes disproportionately represented in the after school detention programs, which now research shows is the prison to pipeline for our youth. So when we're teaching kids how to articulate their feelings, our hope is that they become capable of really expressing themselves, and those that are in charge of them in the school setting will appreciate that, and we can interrupt some of this detention of African American youth, because you have to look at the complete environment of a youth. You can't just package it as this is the problem when you're not unaware, you're unaware of where their struggles really are in their home, their community. So being able to articulate your feelings is really huge. And we teach by this really simple package. The third skill set for social emotional development that we teach is sense of belonging. Every one of us as human being wants to feel like we belong, but that's not always the case. If it were the case, then we would never have had Black Lives Matter movement. We wouldn't have the social problems we are having. At some point, we have to be able to break down these barriers and feel like all of us are in this together and all of us belong in this sense of humanity. And no one of us is more valuable than the other. So we teach sense of belonging through our art form. The innate form of West African drum and dance is all about community. It doesn't even happen on an individual level. All of my travels into West Africa have been life-changing to connect to this art form and to know that this is a part of my heritage and it's innate to me. So when we create a sense of belonging, we first help a youth identify where they feel like they belong. And oftentimes it's either their home, their church, or with a group of friends. And we create a space through the art form where we become our own community in a supportive environment for learning, expressing and growing, and being vulnerable, right? Because all of this learning requires us to be vulnerable, to talk about the things that we want in life and how we feel. But we also make sure that everyone that's a part of what we're doing feels safe. So our skill sets become tools that we use in every program. Our summer camp, which is a 1-week immersive experience here in Montevallo at the Drum the Program facility. And that takes place on June 14th through the 18th this year. It's going to be an outdoor experience. There's lots of space, lots of activities. Kids will be put into small groups to work on art projects, visual art projects, learning drum lessons, dance lessons. And we have a host of artists in residencies that come in and provide their services. I am the facilitator, even though these are all of the things that changed my life. I also work with a host of artists that make this happen. And on June 19th, which is Juneteenth, we will be having our first annual fundraiser gala event here in Montevallo, where the kids will demonstrate to the parents and the community everything that they learned all week long. And it's going to be a great way for the kids to display all of their art projects that they've been working on all week, and to demonstrate the music that they've learned, the dances. And it'll be a great event for parents and family and community and sponsors to really see the impact our program has on the lives of these youth that are going to be engaged. We're only accepting up to 20 youth enrolled in the program. Per youth is $500. Now we are really working hard to identify sponsors, and it's the cost of that may seem like a lot, but when you break it down to a kid arriving at 9 in the morning and they're with us until 4:30 or 5 in the afternoon, and we're feeding them and we're paying artists $100 a day for your child to be immersed in a real creative program that has impact and outcomes, is nothing. Parents have to shift their mentality and value that their kids are growing in a way that's going to help them into the future. Our fall program takes place on October 11th through the 15th at Orr Park. And it's an outdoor after-school program for 1 week. Our after-school programs begin at 3:30 in the afternoon until 5:30. And those are just, kids get to have snippets about, experiences of what we offer. But in the summer, youth can become completely immersed in what Drone the Programs offers and really grow and expand and really wake up that artist inside of them, because I feel that art is a tool that allows for us to mentally stimulate our brain in a way that we want to expand and grow. And then there's this thing for me, when I woke up to my artistic expression, it changed my life. And our youth, research shows that African American youth are oftentimes the most underserved in art forms, because art is taken out of our schools, and then parents must invest into a program so that their kids can have access. What we're trying to do is identify sponsors at a corporate level, foundation grants, state grants, individuals who would like to sponsor youth. All of those things are possible to make this happen so that access is not the barrier. That's the problem with nonprofit organizations. Oftentimes, we have to operate on a financial level, and the services that we want to provide, the demographics we're reaching to serve are often faced with a barrier because the funding is not there. But we're hopeful. We're busy working, writing grants and trying to figure out how to make this happen. And hopefully, people who will see this will realize that they too can support a child to attend our programs, because they make a difference. If I were to say what the vision of what Drum the Program has to offer is that what we provide will wake up a child's mind and change the trajectory of their life, so that into the future, they will see themselves capable with a skill set to achieve. And when I'm older, they will be the ones making the decisions, especially politically, right? And impacting the world. But we have to be the ones teaching them now and demonstrating how to make that happen. by giving them opportunities and skills. So yeah, drum the program. Sometimes I think we offer a lot, but somebody's got to do it.
That's right. That's right. And that's awesome that you have that platform, especially for the youth, to introduce the art form, you know, because a lot of times youth are just not introduced to the arts like they should be. And it's always usually about maybe sports or something, you know, or video games or things like that. But this really gives them an introduction to a lot of areas. So, how to deal with social issues, how to deal with their own mental state of mind. But it also allows them to be introduced to the drums, the dance, the art form. So it hits on a lot of different spectrums. Did you have anything you want to add?
Well, I was going to say that it's very impressive how you know you use your passion and your vision to create this platform for the youth to go. They can go and not only learn this art form,
Mm-hmm.
but also, you know, get that development, right?
Right.
It's a huge deal. I don't think there's many out there that
does the whole package like
right,
you guys
right.
are doing.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, you had mentioned if someone wants to help. So how can they learn more about Drum the Program? How can they contact you? How can they donate?
Yes. On our website, all of that information is there. You can contact us. The donate buttons, they work really well. You can donate via credit card, PayPal, Cash App. All of that information is there, and it's drumtheprogram.org. Drumtheprogram.org. You can also follow and locate us on Facebook and Instagram. We have a really nice following that has been growing now on these social media platforms, thanks to our artist in resident, Asho Buckingham. Asho came to us via the University of Montevallo as an intern, and they soon took over, which was such a breath of fresh air to have a youth come into our organization and fill in the gaps of their generation and how their generation likes to receive information. And so it's really made a big difference in our following and our messaging, which is really wonderful. We were able to be rather proactive during the Black Lives Matter movement this past year in the city of Birmingham when we hosted the Protest of Art event at Avondale Park. And, you know, a big shout out to all of the artists who signed up, who came onto the stage, who brought their art, and to all of these supporters who came to support the event, to show their sense of solidarity for Black Lives Matter movement and this awareness that police accountability, that's really humane.
Right.
I mean, you know, we should not be allowed to take another's life without accountability. I'm accountable for all the things that I do. So I feel that that movement stimulated some real necessary dialogue and change, and kudos to them for their Nobel Peace Prize.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, great stuff. Wow. Good stuff. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your vision and really showing or illustrating it come to life. You know, so it's one thing to just share your vision, but you actually, just in talking with us today, I can see it, right? I can see the youth, I can see the work.
Absolutely.
And the impact that this work is going to make not only for them individually, but for the communities that they live in. So that's awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Did you have anything else?
Yeah, we're always looking for volunteers when we're doing our after school program or our summer camp. If especially if we have elders in the community like to come and volunteer their time and energy and help us put this on, the door is wide open for that.
Awesome. Awesome.
And I was just going to let the viewers know that we did visit the facility, and the facility is so beautiful. It just calm when you're there.
Right.
You just feel so calm and cool, and it's really good job, really great giving back.
Thank you.
And you're right. Yeah, we're very proud of you.
Yes, we are. We're proud of the work that you're doing.
Right.
Definitely.
And we definitely thank you for that.
Yeah. We thank you for our podcast, Grand Slam with B.A.T.S, and sharing Drum the program. And that way others can be introduced to the platform as well.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, B.A.T.S and Manisha and Tanya, for the opportunity. We greatly appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you as well. And we will post the information on how they can reach out to you and
Awesome.
maybe volunteer or donate. So
wonderful.
Awesome.
Okay,
Well,
thank you, ladies.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great rest of the day.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.